Good friends, poetry number 48 goes with the title, "The leader who is followed also follows to lead. He is a perpetual follower himself." Supported by the story, Socrates watched his avid student with even more avid interest and smiled. The young man seated beside him gave him joy in the spirit. Of all the students he had, this one was the most serious. Plato was his name. All day, all night, this young man sat at his feet and asked questions. That was one trait that Socrates loved in Plato. Ask, ask, and ask. He always said to his students. He never stopped urging them. Ask to know. Search, search, and research. He exhorted them. Plato's passion for learning was one reward that gladdened his spirit. For, like a man who knew he had a son, he could be sure that his teachings would be carried on. The sight of Plato was a source of joy. Unself-consciously, therefore, the normally grave teacher smiled at his student with affection and pride. Plato raised his head and was surprised. Socrates was smiling at him. He smiled back cautiously at the world-famous teacher, whom he had come to see as his father. But what a pleasant surprise! It was not so common to see Socrates smile. He was a stern teacher, and few could claim they had ever seen him show such personal affection to an individual student. This smile was to cement an even closer bond and generate more impartation of knowledge from the master to the son. Then Socrates was imprisoned. Plato was not permitted to visit him. It was so reported from the prison that Socrates had drunk hemlock, that most dangerous of poisons, and died. Some said he poisoned himself. Others said he was forced to drink it. Whether he was killed or died voluntarily, he was dead. Plato, always encouraged by him while he lived, had lost his master. He mourned in his heart and studied his master's works even more, and he did his own thinking and analysis too. Plato evolved his own theories through personal observations as well. Thus, armed with the knowledge of his leader and his own, Plato became one of the greatest philosophers in the world. Aristotle was his proud pupil. He regarded Plato with awe and studied him day and night while following him like a lamb. Aristotle is now believed by some to have been the greatest of the trio. While arguments are not conclusive, why wouldn't Aristotle be great? Just as Plato had benefited from Socrates, he had benefited from Plato and Socrates and added his own philosophy too. No wonder he became a leading world force in philosophy. The masters learned from the masters. To be a great leader, you must be a good follower of the great leaders in all humility. Wisdom is handed down from leaders to future leaders. Every leader then is led, even by God. Therefore, a leader who is followed also follows to lead. He is a perpetual follower himself. How about that? God bless you.